Hey, you may have already seen this crazy video online. It's had almost 10 million views, thousands of comments, a lot of which suggesting that it's fake. I can assure you it wasn't. That shit really happened to me, and I've been asked to quickly go over what happened and the most commonly asked questions that we've gotten already on the video while it's online. All the time I get asked why I didn't shoot this guy, and here's the reason why. In my state, in order to shoot anyone, you have to prove legally that you feared for your life. And this guy had actually already broken into the video business in my basement a few days before through an unlocked door. And in order to calm down my family and friends, I had essentially been downplaying him as a threat, essentially saying I wasn't afraid of him all week, which would have put me in an odd spot, legally speaking, in order to shoot in my defense. And it wasn't a chance I was going to take, even if I wanted to shoot this guy. I never expected to see him there attempting to break into my front door, so my threat assessment on this guy went from zero, near zero, to very high pretty quickly. When I did get up to the door, I actually got there before he heard me, and he was sort of peeking in a square glass window that I have on my door, and I was able to actually push with my hips, his hips against the door, and keep my hand under his hand, and his other hand was sort of pinned against the door. And this was all trying to keep him from going for his waistline. That was my only real fear throughout this whole video, was that he'd have some type of a break-in tool or a screwdriver in his waistline. And you'll see pretty much everything I do from this point on is to try to avoid that risk of him going for his waistline. I told him I wasn't personally mad, but he did scare my family, and the cops were on the way, and just he needed to stay where he was long enough to talk to them. And, you know, he kind of acted like he was okay with that and kind of fake relaxed, and then tried to wind up for a big haymaker without any of the space behind his head that he would have needed to throw it. You sort of see the dust swirl in the video there before we come tumbling down the stairs here. And, you know, I really wasn't trying to hurt him at first. I just wanted to make sure that each punch actually hit him, even if not that hard at all, so he'd be too busy guarding his face to move for his waistband for a weapon or something. And I just wanted to keep my hands on him to control his options. You can see right here in the video that he sort of makes this gesture to give up. It says, okay, okay, okay. So right here, I sort of stopped throwing punches for a second, and he instantly goes for a hold around my neck. And this is the moment I decided to stop being naive and just try to knock this dude out. After he eats that first left, he reaches up too far and actually gets his right hand wrist locked into his hair and kind of freaks out a bit here because he realizes he can't guard the right side of his face anymore. This last blow is an elbow, and you can actually see his legs go limp a bit just after he eats it. I told him if he stopped moving, I'd stop hurting him, and he sort of mumbled that he understood because I think he knew that there was nothing he could do at that point to protect his face. So he just sort of relaxed. And one of the funny things not shown in this video is when I yelled at my wife to call the cops, he shouted also to her, "Yeah, and an ambulance," which I can't get enough of laughing at that. But I also get asked all the time why the cops showed up so quickly, and it's because there was actually a police station about 800 yards from my house when this happened, and the cops that responded were actually headed somewhere else, and they were just driving by when they got the call. Once this dude heard the sirens, though, he just sort of sighed and kicked his shoes off, which was strange, and is by far the most asked question I get on this video. Why did this dude kick his shoes off? And honestly, I have no idea what would make somebody want to do that. No idea. The cops came back for the shoes, and they did say there was nothing in them, so your guess is as good as ours, man. Crazy people do crazy things, I guess. But guys, thank you for watching the original video, and thanks in advance for sharing this one. Fortunately, this event did go well for me, but obviously it was stupid to charge outside in my underwear to confront this guy. But thieves should never take for granted that behind that door that they want to break into might not be a paratrooper just like me, willing to push the line of confrontation and be more prepared for a fight than they are. And that's why I started the Mr. Wronghouse charity to focus on keeping more of these veteran Mr. Wronghouses alive. We lose far too many veterans to suicide each and every day. The number one thing that could easily save those lives is the help of an emotional support dog that the VA currently will not help these veterans with, so they need our help. Go to pawsandstripes.org, scroll down, and hit that donate button. Burglars and thieves should never feel confident that behind that door they want to break into isn't an overprepared veteran that's ready to ruin their night and possibly cost them their shoes. But do me a favor and please hit that share button right now to share this message with your feed about Paws and Stripes, about veterans and service dogs, and help save a few lives and help a group of veterans that truly deserve it, and I know for a fact will appreciate your help.